Hey everybody, it's Kelly, and today I have a layout for you that's using the Cheeky Studio September 2018 kit. And I'm going to start out with that pinky cardstock or pinky red cardstock as a frame for my layout. And in my reveal or my unboxing of this kit, I talked about this paper and how some people might find it a little bit intimidating because it's so busy. And I was going to use the other side, but I decided I really loved this side better with what she's wearing. Because the other side, you can see there's kind of a frame. I already cut off two sides of those flowers. But anyway, so I went for broke and am going to use the tough side first. So then I'm going to use this piece of lighter pink cardstock that was included in the kit. And I'm using a couple of the floral embellishments here. The floral, oh, I didn't tell you this, the floral paper is the Wildflowers number 17 paper. And then that pink cardstock is just the cardstock was included in the kit. So this will help me catch up a little bit because I've got to change out my ATG there. The cardstocks I don't know where they're from, so just so you know that. And then, as I said, that's the Wildflowers number 17. Tuesday has been doing ephemera collections of wildflowers. They're called wildflowers, and the one to the right there is the fifth one. This paper is her first foray into creating paper, and it matches the wildflowers collection. All right, so I'm adding these flower clusters there, I guess, from the Wildflowers ephemera, and then I'm going to stick that journaling spot behind there, and that is a little sticker, and it's from the Close to My Heart Compliments Prickly Pear set that's included in this month's kit. And I really like how that gives me just a little spot to journal on. Those two clusters of flowers, the top one says love and the bottom one says awesome, and that's important because this is my 5-month-old granddaughter, and she has just rolled over for the first time here. So that's why I think she has such a pleased look on her face, and she's giggling because she's done something totally new that she hasn't done before. So now I'm going to go outside of the kit here to use an alphabet, and I grabbed my American Crafts Thickers in the Junebug font, and this is the salmon color. So it matches that kind of pinky, reddy, orangey color perfectly. So I was very happy that I found these because I don't often use cardstock, although I must say, being on the design team and getting this kit, because the cardstock is always included, has really made me use cardstock much more. I used it at first when I first started scrapbooking, and then pretty much I tend to use pattern papers as background, so kind of interesting. So you're seeing right now, I just put that J upside down, and that's because I don't have an exclamation point, and I'm thinking at this point that I'm going to use an exclamation point at the end of the title. And then I'm just going to put the word just there to indicate that this is something she just did. As I was saying, I want that title to take up a lot of space because I have a hard time looking at plain paper backgrounds. So I want a lot of stuff on it without being too crazy full of stuff. Would be the best way to explain it. I did take that pink bow off of there. There were some pink bows included in this kit. I just moved it off of there for the time being, but I'm going to end up adding that back in. I love these bows. I have them in a pink with white polka dots as well that I just purchased on my own to use. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where exactly this title is going to lay, but I know I want some more layers of flowers there, you know, trying to figure out what that means here. And then I'm going to take my T-square ruler and just help myself get this title straight. I've started to do this a little bit more, which, you know, one of the advantages of having a T-square ruler. And it would actually be a lot easier if I lined my layout up with the side of my mat there and just did it from there, but I did not do that. Most often I just lined it up with the paper. Now the nice thing is that that cardstock is really giving your eye a break from that busy background. And the other thing I did is I just took my Memento Dewdrop ink in gray flannel and I inked those edges. I did the same thing with the paper as well. Just puts a little shadow behind them and helps them pop off the paper behind it. So I'm going to create another cluster. I decided I wanted something else up here because there was just way too much white space up there for me with nothing in it, given how busy the paper is behind it and how that kind of left, how that little L shape is from the photograph through the title. It just felt wrong to have that completely blank up there. So I'm kind of playing here and looking at maybe adding that bow in there and then a bow. So a bow in each of the clusters is what I'm looking at doing. And now I'm kind of looking at the cut aparts there to see if there's anything that I want to use. And I'm thinking that I'm just going to leave things as they are with those. I like the way the clusters look here. I'm going to fool around a little bit with what ephemera piece I use here because I was trying to decide, what color did I want? First of all, did I want red? Did I want purple? Did I want something more blue? And also the size of the flower too. Did I want a bigger one or a smaller one? So that will take me a little bit of a minute. And I'm playing around a little bit because obviously I don't want to cover that whole circle's journaling spot there because I want to be able to journal. I think this would have been a good place if I splattered more often to add some splatters into each of the clusters. That probably would have helped me a bit. But in the end, I really like how this looks. So I'm just using a glue dot or a Zotz glue dot behind the bows to glue those on. I probably could have used some of my ATG as well to do that. All right, so just again, just kind of experimenting with what I want to do. I thought the purple was a little bit too impactful and I was just seeing that. And the same thing with the red one, that I was just seeing too much of that and it was calling the attention away from the cluster that says awesome. And then I grabbed this more sketchy purple flower and I like that much better. So that's the one I'm going to go with in the end. And then I decided to glue that bow on top. At one point it was more in with the flower cluster. This piece right here just kept looking off to me, like I didn't have it glued on straight. I'm not sure if I did or not. All right, now I'm going to have the Battle of the Sequins. So Tuesday has me using sequins in much more often than I normally do because she likes to include those in packs and it stretches my scrapbooking. That is one nice thing about being on a design team is you scrap with what you've been given versus being able to avoid product. So, I love the results every time I use a sequins. In this particular case, I'm really just adding a couple into each cluster here, and sometimes I use a ton, sometimes I use just a smaller amount like I'm doing here. And basically I'm kind of using them in this case like I do enamel dots. So now I'm using some of the clear ones and some of the copper colored ones and some of the bluey kind of purple colored ones. And I like that because my granddaughter has kind of a blue and coral top on there, so it's nice to get the blue sequin in there. And then I decided I didn't really like the clear sequins on this particular paper because they really seem to just disappear. So I changed those out Guys, don't forget, you can get 10% off your order except for your kit by using the code Kelly10. And don't forget to see or take a look at the still shot and a couple of detail shots. I did add a sticker up at the top of the photo from the August kit as well. So hope you guys are all well. I'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye.